Hi, I'm Gary Martanis, and I'm talking to you from the campus just in front of the library at Hanyang University in Seoul, Korea. And I must say that I really am fortunate that I do have a high degree of autonomy, and so I'm able to try and practice some of the new information, the new knowledge that I've been gaining through the MET program, and see it in action with real live students. And it's a win-win for them and for me because, as we all know, collaboration and mobility and I guess a democratization of the decision-making process in the classroom is the way of the future. And so what I'm sharing with you today is just a little information on how I've been able to see this work in a blended classroom, and I will explain. Now, one of the things that I've done since I've started working here is just gradually start converting all of my courses from traditional face-to-face classes into blended classes. So the students get quite a bit of work to do at home. The reality is that we have a culture here that is quite different. For one thing, saving face is considered to be one of the most important parts of life. And so I have to consider that when I am designing a course and when I am working with my students in the classroom. Another very important aspect of the group work that we do in the classroom is that in Asian culture, it's very important to respect your elders, to show deference to them, to show respect to them, and basically to say yes to anything that they say that we should do as a group. And so yeah, you get some tension there. And then finally, one of the most important cultural aspects that I need to consider is that pretty much all of the Asian students that I teach hate to speak English in front of their classmates. That's considered to be one of the most horrible things that they would ever have to experience. It's almost as bad as death as far as some of them are concerned. And so it does make for some interesting challenges. Now, fortunately, mobility does make a huge difference. For example, when students are working in groups and it's time for the project to come to a close and perhaps consider forming new groups, that's always a difficult question. When I first started teaching here, I didn't give them a choice. I used to say, okay, today we're forming new groups, and I would just number everyone off saying, okay, you're number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and now all the number 1s sit together, all the number 2s sit together, and you know how that works. But I actually found out that the students felt that that was just a little bit not 100% trustworthy as far as they were concerned. They wanted it to be more random. And so they asked me to start picking numbers or cutting up little numbers so that they could pick them out of a hat or something. And they thought that would be a more random approach. And so we did that, but it still was met with kind of I don't know if I really want to do this kind of attitude. Especially when I saw that a lot of the classes that I was teaching, the groups that were working together, they were working very well. They had excellent chemistry, they had mutual respect, and were developing very close relationships with one another and producing some of the most fantastic work that I've ever seen. Someone made me aware of a wonderful little app called Socrative or Socrative. It's a website that allows people to use their surveys and their quiz technology to answer immediate questions, where you can actually set up a survey and ask students first, do you want to change groups or stay in the same group that you've been in for the last several weeks? And if they say no, then it's a done deal. You know that there's no need to go any further. Now, on the other hand, sometimes students will say, yes, I do want to change groups, and in that case you have to go with kind of a majority rule, and then from there you might ask them, well, how would you like the groups to be reconstituted? Do you want to pick your own partners? Do you want me, the teacher, to pick all the groups, or should it be more random? Picking random numbers out of a hat perhaps, or let the computer randomize everyone's names. So again, you can put those questions up in the survey, and anonymously students answer, and then you, the teacher, have a really good idea what the class really wants to do, and nobody has lost face, nobody's been embarrassed, nobody has hurt a friend by saying, I don't want to work with him anymore. And so it's a fantastic way of getting right down to the essence of what students really, really want. Students that I teach presentation skills to, they sometimes have very important presentations that they're very nervous about, and so what I have to do is try to help them to relax a little bit so they can feel more confident when they're giving their presentations. So one of the things that I've tried is actually putting the winning presentations of contests that we had. Here's a winning presentation that somebody gave in one of our contests just last year. And underneath each one of the presentations, there's a rubric, okay, that students can fill out and decide on certain aspects. Posture, does the presenter have a confident posture, or is it rather nervous and awkward and that kind of thing? And if it's confident, then they would just press there, like so, and the vote has been registered. I don't know. The great thing is that while they're filling out this rubric on their little device, again, this is done either collaboratively, because this is not so personal, or privately, they're thinking about what these different criteria mean. So they'll ask me, what do you mean by quality? But they sometimes want a little more information. And that to me is fantastic, because then they are getting better prepared for their own presentations while they're doing this peer assessment of, one of the winners from a previous contest. And it's great because they can do it from the subway or from a bus. It doesn't matter. It saves them a lot of time, and it does actually in the long run bring about a much better result as far as learning outcomes are concerned. So with all this being said, now watch the animation over there. I think you'll enjoy. Thanks. Bye now.
Did you have enough battery power in the anthropology class? You know the one I'm talking about, don't you? It's that blended course that our new guy, I think his name is Gary, recently redesigned.
Yes, but I almost ran out of power because Gary had us all interacting and collaborating for several minutes. How about you? Did your battery hold up okay?
Well, I actually did run out of power, but it happened just after my owner completed the last survey, so it worked out okay.
Oh, those surveys. Aren't they great? They keep us smartphones and other devices busy while our owners get to express their opinions about important issues frankly and anonymously. It's a wonderful way of facilitating intelligent debate and allowing people to feel safe while doing so.
Yes, that's right. Since Gary began converting the traditional courses into blended ones, we have been getting busier and busier. And our owners have stopped skipping classes too.
Yes, I've noticed that also, and I think it's fantastic. Best of all, my owner is now using me for something more than just playing video games and sending text messages. I'm not feeling totally bored during classes anymore and really enjoying all the new interactivity. Communicating and collaborating with others is really a lot of fun, isn't it?
It sure is. It's also extremely educational, and that is very cool.